99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. You chug one down, pass it around. 98 bottles of beer on the wall. Actually, tall cans. But the song isn't the same if you say 99 tall cans of beer on the wall, right? It doesn't have the same 99 tall cans of beer on the wall, 99 tall cans of beer. No, anyways. Hey folks, I'm Matt from Fidel Gastro, and this could probably be my favorite episode of 5 things I like to crush ever, because it's craft beer. And actually, if you know me, I'm a very slow beer drinker. I don't really crush beers like most people do, like this. I like to enjoy a nice glass of craft beer. But yeah, so we have a lot to be proud of here, because I'd say in the last 2 to 3 years, our craft beer scene has really taken off, and I'm super proud of it. So today, I'm gonna show you 5 craft beers I love to crush. Asterisk, side note, I feel like this is gonna be like the episode where people are like, how did you leave out this beer? How dare you not include that beer, Matt? You're right, there's too many beers to choose from. They're all fantastic. I just picked 5. So please, don't throw your empty cans at my head, because there's so many more beers I would love to crush. But right now, here's 5. Let's crush. All right, so first beer I love to crush. It's actually not a beer that I would ever think would match my preference. I prefer lighter beers, but IPAs have a special place in my heart. And the first IPA that really did that for me was Muskoka's IPA. Now they have a Mad Tom or a twice as Mad Tom. One's a little hoppier than the other. Here it is. It's a nice brown liquid. IPAs have a lot more hops in it, which give it what's referred to as more of a skunky flavor, and I mean skunky as a positive. I love it. I think it's great. It's great with steaks. Like that bitterness actually cuts through fat really, really well. So I enjoy it. My biggest thing with IPAs is I can't drink too many in a row, because then it's just so much better. But like 1 or 2, I'm set. I'm golden. Allow me to crush. It's a shot of beer. Next! All right, beer number 4, Lake of Bays American Pale Ale. Now, Lake of Bays Brewing Co. is right near Muskoka Brewery. They're all in the Muskoka Cottage Country region, about 2 hours north of the city here. And Lake of Bays makes a fantastic beer. They're not as prominent in the city as Muskoka, so it's something you would get more up in cottage country, but I think they're fantastic. The APA, American Pale Ale, is kind of like the cousin of the IPA, Indian Pale Ale. Same bitterness, but just a little bit lighter. So if you like look at the color difference, I find this to be slightly more drinkable than the IPA. So if you're like, Matt, I like IPAs, but I can only have 1 or 2. Try an APA. You get like 4 or 5 in there. You're welcome. You're welcome. By the end of this video, it'll be like, okay, beer number 1. Beer number 1. Next! All right, beer number 3 is a lager. And actually, lagers and pilsners tend to be my 2 most drinked, sipped, consumed. One of my most consumed beers. Mainly because it's easy to drink. I find lagers are not as heavy in the hops department. They go with almost everything. And whenever you hear the word drinkability, like, oh, what's the beer's drinkability? Is it a 10 on the drinkability scale? Lagers are usually at the top of the list only because they appeal to a larger group of people. Cameron's, great company. I actually noticed them a few years ago because they had a beer truck similar to a food truck. So it was a food truck, but they converted into a beer truck, and it had like kegs and pints that you could pour out of the side of the truck. It was super cool. I dug the gimmick, and I fell in love with the beer. Little lager. I feel like that's a good that sound effect every time. Okay, next. Okay, well, it might not be beer, but it's liquid and it has bubbles. It comes in a tall can. Summertime, as far as I'm concerned, it's cider season. And Ontario, where we are, has some of the best cider, mainly because we have fantastic apple. All right, so there's a lot of things you can look for in a cider, but there's one thing I always go to, and it usually says it right on the can. It'll say either apple flavored cider or made with real apples. Ding, 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 ding. It's great because the apple flavored one usually tastes like apple candy. You know, like those green Jolly Ranchers? Like that's what, no, I don't want that. I don't want, it's not like a sourpuss. Like I want a cider. I want a real cider. So made with real apples is the first thing. The second thing usually goes hand in hand with the apple flavor versus real apple, and that's, is it a dry cider? Is it too sweet or is it nice and dry? So I like a nice dry cider, not too sweet. Got Duxbury cider, nice can too. Feels nice in the hands. Very good color on it. I'm a big fan of that. Bigger fan of the actual liquid inside the can. Like on ice actually. So then there's like cider purists would say never have a cider on ice. I actually like my cider on ice. So I'll order a cider, a pint glass of crushed ice. And then I'll just little dishes. Next! All right, so the last beer on this list of 5 craft beers I love to crush, they'd actually be considered the largest of the breweries in this lineup. And some might even argue that they're not really a craft beer anymore, even though that's not true, because by very definition, craft beer is based on hectoliters of produced beer. Anyways, that's a long story short. It's the craft beer that got me into craft beer like 7 years ago. So when I was in university and all these roommates, and they were drinking Wildcat and Black Label and Labatt Blue and all that other stuff, I was like, nope, I'm gonna have a steam whistle because I think steam whistle is fantastic and it's brewed right in the city of Toronto. Yeah. And what's cool about them is, one, it's a Pilsner, like I said. I tend to gravitate towards Pilsners. Second thing is they only have one style of beer. In fact, their slogan is do one thing really well. And I think they've done that. So good on you. Good on you, good guys. Good on you, good beer folk. It says it right on the can, good beer folk. Well, there you have it, folks. Another episode of 5 craft beers I love to crush. They're local, they're awesome, and if you're watching from the US, I'm sorry, chances are you're not gonna be able to find any of these unless you come visit here. So maybe make a trip this summer. Come on down. I'll meet you at the food truck at the border. I'll drive you in, and then we'll go drink beer. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you're into craft beer or craft cider, write down below, let me know some of your favorites because I'm always looking for something new to sip on. This is true. Beers. You gotta get out! Get out of here! It's over! The show's over.